Ting, 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 bim, 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 bim. Hi guys, if this is your first time, welcome to SO RANDOM with HANEEFAH. If this is the second time, welcome back to SO RANDOM with HANEEFAH. Today I've got a topic to discuss with you all. But before we get into that, I'd like to do a little something I call What's Trending. So, what's trending? For some days now, some of you may have come across funny clips of a challenge called or hashtag Don't Leave Me or Wait for Me. Basically, it's a kind of video where people make dry jokes. Dry jokes, which somehow are interesting. This trend was started by Just Too Funny, a popular comedian on IG. So a lot of people have taken to social media to do theirs. And I think this might just be the next best thing after the Paul Bearers movement. You guys remember them? I took the liberty of picking out some of my favorite videos. Let's review them.
About so we can take things away. Josh, say something now. Talk now.
Can't you see? Can't you see I'm on leave?
Hey! What? Wait. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I want to take my leave.
Hey! I can't believe this. I can't believe this, bro. What?
Don't disturb me. Live your life.
Oh! Bro. Wait for me. Don't leave me.
Don't leave me. Okay.
The prince. Please give us a word of wisdom. Okay. If Cardi B run, does it mean Khadija? Oh my God! Don't leave me!
Yes. I put Indomie on top the car.
Yes.
And the car turn. Does it mean it's Indomie carton?
No! Don't leave me! Don't leave me!
Take this one.
Okay.
If I put my neck
on
this table, and I'm eating corn, does that make it connectable?
No!
Good, okay. Just Too Funny does it effortlessly. Like,
Where's the toilet? My guy is pissing there. I want to go and watch the masterpiece.
yeah guys, that is what is trending. For more videos like that, you can check social medias like Twitter and IG and even TikTok using the hashtag Don't Leave Me. Today guys, we're going to be talking about how you can stay sane during this lockdown. I know we've had it rough since the beginning of 2020. You know, from the fear of a possibility of us experiencing a World War III to the pandemic COVID-19. Us having to go into lockdown, quarantine, isolation, or whatever you call it. The BLM movement with online protests. Also an impending strike from ASU. For those of us, who might be affected. All these things put together is not good for the body, basically. The mind, the soul, name it. So what I'll be doing today is simply listing out some tips which I believe can be helpful. I call it tips on how to stay sane during the lockdown. 1. Learn a skill. During these few months we have at home, hopefully it's going to be a few months, take the time out to learn a skill that you are passionate about, something you've always wanted to do but you've not had the time to do because of school and assignments and so many things that they're going to pack on your head because you have responsibilities to do. But now that you are at home, more time to learn a skill. Find ways to be creative with your time. Don't let it all waste because time waits for no one. 2. Make money. Now that you're at home, try to look for alternative ways to make money. It could be from online businesses, building websites for people, forex, creating content, write for blogs, Search the internet. The internet is there at your fingertips for you to search and discover ways on how you can make this money online. 3. Reduce the amount of money you spend on data. Yes, we are talking about how to stay sane. For some of you who may not be able to find ways to make money, imagine not making money and yet that same money is leaving your account all the time for data.
What's going on in this life? What's going on, man?
It hurts. I know. It hurts. 4. Work on yourself. Take the time to reflect. Take the time to think back to where you started, how far you've come, your accomplishment, what is left. Read books. Those books that you brought from school, they are waiting for you. Go and read them. Go and read them. Let's say you forgot your books or you're not interested in reading what you brought from school. Fine, there are alternatives. It's never too bad to widen your horizon. 5. Video games. Obviously, video games count. Some of you even have girlfriends who have pre-ordered the PS5 on your behalf, you know. I'm just saying, some of you. Well, for those of you who don't have video games or who don't have girlfriends who have pre-ordered the PS5 on your behalf, you can also play board games. There is Ludo, there is Sudoku, there is crossword puzzle, Scrabbles, chess. Options are plenty.
Wow.
And I know me putting video games on the list contradicts the third point, which was to reduce the amount of money spent on data. That is for those of you who majority of your games, your video games are played online. Still, it all boils down to finding the perfect balance, and to reduce money spent on data doesn't necessarily apply to everyone. It's just for those who swear for the 10th time that they do not have money to subscribe again, but the next thing they're online. Sleep is important. I can't stress the importance of sleep enough. Ease your mind off the stress of social media and some of the disheartening stories it can bring at, especially periods like the past few weeks. Yes, while we've said how to stay sane during this lockdown, it is also important to mention how not to pass time during this lockdown. Number 1 on the list is catching cruise. It is not right for you to decide that you are bored and then you go through your contacts and then you single out names and like, oh, I'm going to play on this person's emotion, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Use this person to have fun, you know, for the meantime. It is not right. If you are doing it, stop. Also, think back to how I said sleep was a good thing to do during lockdown. Do not take my word for it and go and oversleep. There is sleep, there is oversleep. Do not oversleep. Don't sleep away your whole break. You will sleep, you will wake up, next thing is a year after and you are going back to school. And you can't even say one single thing that you've spent your holiday doing purposefully. Last but definitely not the least on this list is being negative. It is important to fight away negativity. Why do I say this? It's because I have noticed over these past few months we've been home, I find more and more people picking up online trade, you know, selling what they can, ranging from clothes to bags to shoes to hair products, body care products and whatever. And then you feel you are not doing enough for yourself. You feel you should be out there working to earn this money. Trade is not for everybody. Do not go into something you end up regretting. It is important to find out what works for you and stick into that. What works for A does not necessarily work for B all the time. So all in all, fight off negativity. If you are claustrophobic, go out, take a stroll, wear your mask, carry your mask. Don't say it's me that sent you outside. Take a stroll. If you people view the site, ease your mind. So guys, we've come to yet another short episode of So Random with Hanifah. I hope you're able to pick one or two things from all we've said. Here is me basically sending you love and light. See you when I see you again on the next episode. I remain the girl.